Be aware that they can now hear you, motherfuckers.
Fuck.
Hello.
A burger you can fuck.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Hello, motherfuckers.
So it's been about a month. Yay. And stuff. So let's do a quick recap just so we can dive in because we do have a time constraint today and we are a party member down right now. So where we left off, a quick recap. The party had tracked down where Lulu went to the kind of like the wasp's hive sort of thing and came up with an ingenious plan that miraculously they managed to pull off with the warlock Raven deciding to go alone while the party kept the wasps occupied. During this, the party, using some skillful rolls, managed to kind of keep most of the wasps occupied, but when Craven arrived in the hive, ran into the queen. It was sitting at the top of the hive with Lulu positioned underneath her. By sheer luck, and by, I mean sheer luck, the luck of a card, Craven managed to survive death and coming back to life and rewriting reality and stuff, but only to the point around him. The party, after successfully opening a dimension door, grabbing Lulu, opening the dimension door, and teleporting out to the party that were in the middle of trying to rip the nest down, escaping. Literally, user, I'm not gonna lie, like, if you haven't watched the last one, watch it, because it was a fucking spectacular luck. And Vane, you put in time to digital, yeah, you lucky fuck. If you didn't have that card, your character would have been fucking dead.
To be fair, I was being like egged on by stream at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. So, we're gonna start off right where we left off. So, the party are in the middle of it, driving full speed away from the hive. Nothing is in pursuit. Nothing's in pursuit. Craven, you are currently holding Lulu's unconscious body in your arms, and the party have just noticed you have arrived. So,
Yeah. So
What is
by memory, the last thing that happened was I have just warped into the back of the truck
yes,
and just gone drive.
correct. So literally, you opened the dimension door, stepped through, it shut. A couple of the talons from the queen fell off, kind of made it way through, fell off as the dimension door shut, and you shouted drive, and everyone turned around and seen you there. And at the same point, the truck jolted to one side as it ripped the harpoon out of the hive, and you are now, in a sense, hammering it as fast as you can away from the hive. So,
Oh yeah.
what are you doing?
I go check on Lulu.
Okay.
See if she's okay.
I come down off of the harpoon after reeling it in and gesture for Craven to bring her to me.
Okay, so it will take you a minute to reel the harpoon in and stuff. Nova, you're gonna go up to Lulu and he's in, and Craven's holding her in her arms. And Lulu's a big elephant, so he's kind of like arms, like kind of like bear hugging her and stuff. Give me a medicine check.
Medicine check?
A medicine check just to see how bad, how she is. 17. Okay. Upon going up and like, examining Lulu and stuff, you notice that she is quite badly beaten here. She is alive, unconscious, but you notice that there's like kind of like cuts and scrapes here. You notice a couple of puncture marks in her body and stuff where you can assume a stinger has gone in. She is badly beaten, but is alive for all intents and purposes.
Isn't Oltep like the most equipped for medicine? Is there anything that he can do? I kind of motion him over and to ask him if there's anything that he can do to help.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, while he's reeling it in, he's about to walk over.
So I would say while you're doing the medicine again, Old Tip, you've
I'm
reeled
going-
it in.
I'm going to gently place Lulu on like the floor and sort of sit next to them.
Mm-hmm. You can outplace her down gently and
Yeah.
sit
And
next
so
to her.
there's and I'm going to see if I can wake her up
Okay.
by initiating telepathic communication.
Okay. Do you want to attempt to wake her up with telepathic communication?
I'm gonna try and talk to them telepathically.
Okay. Whilst you're doing this, what's Bridget doing?
I can't even remember what Bridget was doing.
So the last
Okay.
thing Bridget was doing was at the others, kind of like on the truck with her bow, firing as wasps were coming in, trying to, in a sense, hold them off. While you were, in a sense, trying to keep them
Yeah, but
occupied.
nothing's coming after us anymore. is that
No,
right?
you kind of like, let's describe it. The last thing that happened was the wasps received a signal to get back to the hive, as in a sense the queen's in danger. Get in here. They all flew back, and literally as they began to enter, Kraken dimension doored out with Lulu, and you are hamming it. They are currently not chasing you right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna be like kind of keeping an eye out just to.
Okay,
make
give
sure
me.
nothing-
Okay, give me a perception check then, if you're keeping an eye, just to see. Kind of keeping an eye on the horizon to make sure nothing approaches you and stuff. So, how are you wanting to? How are you communicating with her telepathically?
And basically, I'm just gonna try and say, like, Lulu, are you okay?
Okay.
Are you there? Are you awake?
Using what? Using a spell?
Nope.
Or you're just? Oh, you can do this, can't you?
I can do that now.
Okay. Shit.
My my courtesy of my new level 8 feat. I am now telepathic,
Telepathic, right? Okay.
which allows me to do something else later, which you're gonna hate even more.
Detect thoughts. I just seen that. Okay. Okay. You kind of reach out into Lulu's mind, and you kind of like, in a sense, like try to like communicate her and stuff to try and wake her up and stuff, but you kind of get, when you kind of like go into the mind of her and you try to say just there, you start seeing flashes of images,
Okay.
as if she's reliving bits of, as if all of a sudden parts of her past flash of image, like an image of looks to be a hiccups. What is it called? What looks to be some sort of bunch of trees. Next set of images you see is what looks to be a graveyard of bones. Next image you see is something that looks to be this weird dark object just floating in the middle of the surroundings. Next image you see is what looks to be a very large citadel, and it keeps jumping between all these flashing images as if parts of her memory and stuff that she's trying to remember, bits and pieces. She's like focusing and trying to see what she can remember, but she's as if it's stuck in a loop. So what's everyone else doing? Usually you just seen like Kraken staring at Lulu, kind of sort of still sitting beside her, trying to like communicate. You don't know, like kind of like sitting there.
I'm gonna say this out of character, but I aim my gun at
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay,
I've been giggling at that thought the entire time.
With your Bridget, with your 17 perception, you notice now that you're getting quite far away from the hive. You start to notice with what you rolled. You start to notice that the hive in the distance, a couple of wee dots flying out and beginning to, in a sense, spin around the hive, as if they're looking for something, as if they're on like a search pattern trying to locate something.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just keep my bow at ready in case they come
Okay.
towards us.
Okay.
I also noticed something that apparently I've not been using any of my feats.
Oh, okay. That's one to keep an eye on.
The sharpshooter feat. Obviously I don't get disadvantage on long range anymore. And I can also either take a -5 to attack roll or +10 to attack damage.
Okay, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult to keep track of everyone's characters.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind that you do have those abilities and you're able to do that and stuff. So I will say, for all intents and purposes right now, user in a sense are just driving. Is there anywhere you want to go at this moment, or do you want to just keep going until Lulu regains consciousness?
Well,
We
I could maybe first address her injuries,
Okay,
yeah.
see if
Yeah.
that helps.
you can go and
Wow.
right now. Yous are currently wrong one, driving kind of this way away from the hive at some speed. Like yous are pretty much, Brimrock has got his foot down and is just driving. Foot distance between you and them.
While Altep tends to Lulu's injuries,
Yep.
I'm gonna step out onto the little harpoon balcony thing. I'm gonna try and look out of the truck.
Yeah. So you can go to either one.
Do I see anything familiar?
Give me a give me a history to see if you can dive into your past and see if anything rings a bell.
I was also saying specifically as well, if I spot that, cool. But can I spot any locations that look like anything from what I just saw in Lulu's mind?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, try and match the images that you've seen to what Lulu was seeing.
And
okay?
if anything else pops up that I know as well, cool. But I'm aiming to see if something matches.
Okay, sure. Give me a history check. 9. You kind of step out and have a think about it and stuff, and obviously you're driving past a lot of stuff, and you think, kind of diving into your bits of your past and what you've seen. It's difficult to pinpoint some of the things because from what you've seen in the past to what it is now is very different. So bits and pieces that you can recognize some of the images and some of the places that you've drove past. You've been driving past maybe the image I seen here was this, but it doesn't look like that anymore when you just driving around and stuff. When you've gone to, for example, certain places so far, and when you've been driving around, the landscape itself is vastly different from what you in a sense remember from what you've seen. So it's difficult to pinpoint exactly where they would match. So, is there anything else?
No.
Okay.
Well, just keep a lookout for things.
So, Ultip, are you going to try and help Lulu?
I was just gonna burn a 4th level spell slot for Cure Wounds.
You can burn a 4th level spell slot if you wish. $18.
Just
Kinda
right on her.
Just
Come down, holster my weapon, pull out my very leathery book, and just press my hands against her Just channel it all through.
You do that and stuff, and as you begin to like cast a spell and stuff, the magical energy will transfer. After the position, you see Lulu's like kind of like take a deep breath in, and she begins to come back to consciousness, and begins to like get up on her like feet, and kind of like stand there, very unease, but is up, looking around, seeing you all kind of hear in your minds her crying. You all hear it in your head that, in a sense, her crying.
I've got no experience with this.
Don't worry, we got you out.
You kind of like in your heads and says, "What? It's why?" It says, "Where we went wasn't right." It says, "Why?" It says you should have left me.
Your memory may have led us astray once. But without you, we have nothing to guide us.
You kind of like gets up and you all hear in your head her say thank you. It says, "Thank you for helping me and stuff." And she kind of like starts to walk around and like tries to move around and stuff. You can tell that she is physically, she's fine, but she is exhausted and stuff. So she is trying to walk around and stuff as best as she can. One sec. Bridget, as you are driving away and stuff, you're kind of at a point now that the wasp's nest is far away and stuff, but you do notice that with your passive perception, actually, you do notice that on the horizon looks to be some sort of cloud coming in your direction to the south, to the southeast. What seems to be some sort of like cloud of dust beginning to approach you at a rapid pace.
What color is this cloud?
Red.
Ooh.
And it is approaching it at quite a fast pace.
So is that like coming from the opposite direction of where the wasp nest is?
Yeah. So in a sense, you are currently driving this way. It's starting to approach you this way, as if it's beginning to move its way towards you.
I warn the rest of them about the cloud and say that we should avoid it.
Okay. You kind of like make that, you kind of like say that out loud and stuff, and Brimrock, hearing you, now sees that and begins to turn the vehicle in a way that you are not driving straight into it, you're kind of going parallel to it. So you're not going to go straight into it and stuff, so it would, in a sense, be going parallel beside you, sort of style.
Yeah.
So, I will say right now, for all intents and purposes, Lulu's conscious, she's awake, and is, in a sense, beginning to regain her strength. I will say, do you want you to take a short rest? Because you are currently hammering it with no destination in mind. So, depending on where you want to go, or waiting for Lulu to, in a sense, come back, it's going to take a couple of hours.
Okay. Well, before we initiate the short rest, I'm gonna say to Lulu, when you're feeling up to it, I may have an idea to try and get us a good direction.
Okay. You kind of like hearing that, you kind of like in your head and says good and stuff, and you kind of like see her like, it says when we've all at our full strength, we'll deal with that. And she kind of like goes to a corner, kind of like turns around, sits, and kind of rests herself against like the wall, and just sits there and tries to regain her strength enough that she can actually, because she can't right now, she can't fly. She's just walking around. You can tell that she is physically shattered. She's physically tired. She's like, she needs time to recover. So, during this time, is there anything that you wish to do? Anything that you, anywhere you wish to go, and stuff? Well, in a sense, you are taking a kind of like a short break or short rest.
Would prefer us maybe finding a rock to hide next to. Taking a much longer rest.
You could take you can do that if you wish and stuff. So you can like, as you're driving, there is like mountains and stuff. There's like hills and stuff. There's like caves and stuff. So you can easily find one traveling around. It's not difficult. It's as if you want to do that and stuff, and if you want to deem it safe or not, it's up to you. Why can't I not understand?
I'm up for either.
I can do either.
Yeah, I'm up for either of them.
Okay, so
I'd say a long rest would recover more of our abilities.
okay, so if you want to find somewhere safe, it's easily done. I won't get used to roll for it because there is like multiple places and where you are that you can like kind of like drive off, find somewhere tight, and kind of like park this massive vehicle enough that it's not easily visible, and you can, in a sense, rest. It's up to you if you want to take watches or not, but it's depends on you.
I'm going to ask one question, if you will allow me to do it.
Sure.
Because I'm going to effectively make my character only have this thing and even start popping off limbs and fully cleaning himself.
Okay.
I was going to also set up a fog cloud at 3rd level around our area to make us that much more safer.
Okay.
But just focus on that while we took a long rest.
So you want to make, in a sense, a fog cloud that is active during your long rest?
Yes.
Okay, I will allow it.
Considering he doesn't sleep.
I will allow it. I'll allow you to do it. So you can, in a sense, you'll need to spend a bit of time to get it ready and stuff, maybe like an hour to do it, and then you just can begin the long rest and stuff. But that you can do that if you wish. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Hell yeah.
Long rest.
I'll consume the spell slot now.
Yeah, so you can send the spell slot and stuff, and we'll initiate your long rest. So, is there anyone else wishes to do before taking on this long rest?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, we should be good.
Okay. Bridget?
No, I'm good.
Perfect. Okay, so I will ask, are you all wanting to just rest, or are you wanting to take watches?
I'll take a watch since I don't need a full. Like,
I'll take a watch as well.
Okay,
I'll do a watch.
Okay, so I would say each of you can take a watch. So what I'll do is I'll get... Who's taking the first, second, and third?
I'll go first.
I'll do.
I'll probably take final watch.
Okay. And then Bridget, you could technically take the last two with the amount of sleep that you need.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Senric, can you roll me a perception check, please?
Perception. You got it. Hold
Do
on.
you want to state?
There we go.
Fog cloud does make it harder to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fine, so... That's 20, but also makes things hard. Okay. During your watch, Senric, obviously with the fog cloud and stuff kind of surrounding you and stuff, it makes it harder to see, so you're kind of more relying on your hearing than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But during your thing, you do hear a couple of what sounds to be wind going whoosh past, and a couple bits of what seems to be sounds in the distance, but during your watch, nothing happens. So, first watch complete. Second watch. Bridget, Can you roll me a perception check, please? 19. Okay. Okay. During your watch, it's kind of eerily quiet during your watch. It seems to be what you can assume is the night cycle here in Avernus. Obviously, again, with the fog cloud active, it's difficult to see anything unless it's up close, but you're relying on your hearing. During your watch, you do hear the sounds of, in the distance, the sounds of something rumbling far off in the distance. The rumble of like what you can only assume is either some drums or a lot of movement in the far distance.
Okay.
Other than that, your watch goes past without issue. Third watch, which is Bridget and Craven. Either both of you can roll or someone can roll advantage here. It's up to you.
Do you want me to just roll?
Sure. Your luck's better than mine.
Roll with advantage, please. And you might as well roll again. 23. Okay. During the final watch, Craven and Bridget, both of you are like kind of like listening and stuff, and again the eerily quietness and stuff. Both of you do hear what sounds to be going overhead. The flapping of wings, as if something is flying a couple, like maybe 300-400 feet above you, flying overhead, and is currently heading in what looks to be a northerly direction, where you are at.
Okay.
Can we like determine how many, or does it just sound like a lot?
Flying the wings, they think flying over you.
Yeah.
With what you rolled, you can detect from what the higher perception rolls, and with your keen instinct of like hunting and relying on your senses, you distinguished that what's flying above. You can distinguish what sounds to be 3 sets of wings, going all flying in the same direction, straight north, straight up, in a sense, in a northerly direction.
By the sound of the wing beats, can we tell how large these creatures were?
Sure, give me a straight
That's
intelligence.
what I was just about to
Give
ask.
me oh right, so you okay, give me a and give me what would this be? I want to just say a straight intelligence here to see if you can remember. Yeah, straight intelligence. If you wanted to straight intelligence check, you want to see if you can think what these wings, what could this be? 3. Or you want to roll?
No, I'll let
Well, you can roll with advantage then if you want, Craven. 9. Okay. It's difficult.
Is that with advantage?
That's with advantage. It's difficult. You're both trying to like think like, because you're hearing them flying over it and they're not going terribly fast. It's kind of going slow. You're like, both of you are trying to like going like, what could this be? But without visually having a visual aid.
Yeah.
There's too many things that it could be. It could be like something as small as like some bats, or it could be something as large as like a dragons are flying over you. You just can't figure it out. You need to visually see it, and with the fog cloud, it is virtually you cannot make out what this is.
Fair enough.
So, long rest is also saying that's the end of your watch, and you successfully complete a long rest. These are all now back up to full. Congratulations.
Hooray!
I haven't been there in a while.
I'm now asleep or shiny. Got in between those joints.
Actually, when was the last time I was at full health?
Would it probably last time you probably had a full rest, proper one, is when you left Fort Knucklebones.
Yeah.
When the last time you would have done it. So, you awaken. Right now, Lulu is still asleep. And stuff, still asleep and stuff. So she's like there, but she's asleep and she's still resting. Grimrock kind of gets up and begins to like do a bit of maintenance on the vehicle, on the Hell Infernal machine, and also some maintenance on the bike that is currently attached to the back. Just doing like general maintenance, making sure like there's all like bolts are tight, there's no like damage and stuff, and making sure it's all good. What is everyone else doing right now?
I'm not sure
yet.
I'm gonna check up on Lola.
Okay. So you kind of go
Just
up to
because I saw those memories flooding back.
Okay.
Do we still have
Is my new feat, has that like manifested itself yet or not?
In a minute. We'll deal with that in a second. What were you saying, Bridget?
Do we still have a fog cloud?
No, right now. So that when you woke up and stuff and came back to consciousness, the fog cloud has dissipated. So you are now in between, like, imagine like a dips of a hill, with kind of like a tiny bit of overhang on one side. You are parked in there, hidden and kind of slightly obscured, but in a sense, unless someone walks past you, they're not going to see you. But if something flies overhead and looks down, then they'll see you.
Yeah.
Right. All intents and purposes. So coming back to you, Henrik. You haven't noticed it. You haven't. But what's your passive 10? Bridget and Craven, you have noticed this. When we're getting conscious stuff and looking, just getting around and looking at stuff before you go in a practical look, you notice that something's different with Henrik. It's weird. It's as if.
Has he gone bald?
Remind me, it was the eye, wasn't it?
Yes, the eyes.
You've noticed that when he's now opened and stuff, his eyes aren't the way that, in a sense, aren't the way that they were before. They've kind of turned into what look to be, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Sonic, what look to be kind of like snake eyes.
I think more dragon, right?
Yeah, like, so I mean, if they're not round, they kind of become slits.
Yeah.
They're not round, they're slits.
What?
Oh, sorry?
I aim my bow at him.
You aim your bow at him and stuff. So in a sense, it's gonna be slits.
I think they're slits and red.
Yeah, so they're kind of like, imagine in a sense his eyes so the whites of his eyes have gone kind of like a dark red. So the pupil or the iris, whatever one is, I can always mix up, is no longer the color that the user are used to. They're now sort of like a dark, kind of like an orangey, kind of reddish color, and they look as if they're slightly moving. You notice that the pupils themselves are no longer round. They've kind of turned into kind of like a dragon or cat's eyes, and he's looking around and stuff, getting himself ready. Bridget, you pull your bow at him.
I raise my left hand.
Okay. So Ultep, not Ultep, Henrik, you've raised your hand. Bridget, you've drawn your bow. Henrik, they're both drawing the weapons at you.
I start moving
I
slowly
look at
towards
them
him with the point of my arrow going to his face.
Okay.
I look at them confused, like, hey, whoa, what's going on?
Is this totally yours? I'm taking this is all up to yours.
I pull back the string on my bow and I say, "What the hell have you done with them?"
I look back confused. I'm like, huh? What do you mean? Done with who?
I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to get out, or I'm shooting you right in the face.
I'm gonna mutter. I haven't quite walked up. He's gonna hear me mutter in the background. We don't need another possession. And I'm going to drop my hand to aim at the gem in his chest.
Okay.
I look around, or I look at them really confused. I'm like, "Whoa, what are you guys talking about possession for? What's going on?"
So, while this is happening, stuff, you're kind of like looking at, you're kind of looking at Bridget, and you're looking at Craven, and getting the tens and stuff, looking down, like kind of like starting to like go like, what's going on here? And as you begin to look around, you notice that off to your left, as you begin darting around, you catch a glimpse and a reflective surface at the corner, like I say, out the corner of your eye. You look round, you notice that as you turn and look, you've now noticed that your eyes are different.
I walk over to I kind of almost in a disregarding way. I just disregarding them. I walk straight to the reflection and look into it.
Yeah, so you kind of like now walk up
Like,
and
you see me get like almost a really concerned look. Like I don't know what is this, you know?
you use Bridget and Craven. You kind of like see Sennick turn, look in the kind of like a double look in the mirror, like let's reflect the surface. Walks up to it, and you see in his face what you can see, kind of like a sense of like panic, like what's going on here? Or, like this is something. He's like kind of like trying to like figure out what's going on. Something's not right. He's trying his best to comprehend that something. His eyes are different. Something's not right. He's trying to like work out what's going on with him.
I continue to walk towards him with my bow still aiming at his face.
Yep.
And I say to him in like a really serious voice, "You better start talking and telling us what's going on."
I kind of just mutter in a like, how do I put it? Like I'm trying to get my thoughts together, but I just mutter out. I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what this is.
He can't tell you. I'm gonna take a couple steps forward. But that can. I'm going to focus my mind on the gem.
Okay. Focus your mind.
I'm going to try and telepathically communicate directly with the gem. Because
Okay.
it's a physical object I can see.
Okay.
I'd like to interject here with Altep kind of just peeking up. I can find out. Studying of body is one of my greatest pastimes.
Okay. Okay. I will say, you can like telepathically try and communicate with this gem.
Yeah.
While you do this and stuff, you kind of like sort of focus and zone in, and you begin to feel your mind kind of get pulled in
Okay.
towards the gem. At that same moment, Zenric, you start to feel lightheaded and begin to lose your focus. And at the same moment, both Senric and Craven fall to the ground, unconscious.
Okay.
What?
Bridget, you have just now witnessed Senric and Craven fall to the ground.
Yeah, I basically usher Ultip and I'm like, "Get the fuck over here!"
Okay. You gotta like shout.
And the only thing I can do is put him in the bag.
Yeah, so you've now fallen, they're unconscious on the floor. Senric and Craven. You just begin to see your minds get pulled in stuff, and Senric, you begin to, in a sense, arrive in a very familiar room. A room that you made a deal with. And sitting in this room, currently playing the piano, is the very well-dressed entity
That's amazing.
in a black suit playing the piano. Craven, you're in a sense appearing in this room, and you notice looking around, this is a very nice room. And it takes you a moment to like look around, and you see Senric there, and you see behind you, as you turn around, this kind of like unknown entity playing the piano. You can't make out their face, and it's just sitting there playing the piano. And you both hear like, company, please take a seat. And the two chairs mysteriously materialize in front beside you and stuff. These nice leather back chairs appear beside you. It says, please take a seat. And he continues to play the piano.
Dumb question.
Yep.
Do I have my sword?
You can attempt to do it, yeah.
But do I have it on me?
Now that you look, you have no weapons on you. Both of you have no weapons. All you have is literally your clothing. There's no weapons. There's nothing here. It's literally just use with your clothes.
I don't take a seat. I immediately step forward and I say, "What is happening to me? What has happened to my eyes?"
Says this, and then you can play the piano. And kind of like it's not looking. Kind of like you get the sense that it's not looking as it's starting to play the piano. Looks up at you and looks and goes as it begins to continue to play the music and tune. This is part of our deal, my friend. It says as you gain stronger, more of my gifts begin to transfer over. It says those eyes that you've got will help you and are more of a present that I shall allow you to use. And it kind of looks at you after saying that to you, and it looks at you, Kraken, and says, now then, my friend, it says, what can I help you with? It says, I'm assuming you were wanting to know what's going on. And he's just continuing to play the piano. Not.
And explaining yourself would be wise.
It says, how's your friend? Is Senric not explained our deal?
Not a word.
It says. Kind of looks at you. You get a sense, this being kind of looks at you, Senric, and says, may I explain the deal to him, or shall you? And continues to play the piano.
I go ahead and explain to Craven the deal that I made.
Okay.
In order to come back and save my home.
Yep. So you are now being informed of what deal was made between Senric and this being, in a sense, to bring it back. So, whilst you are in this, what is Ultep and Bridget doing? Two of your allies have just fallen to the floor unconscious.
I'm slapping the both of them silly in the face, screaming at them like, wake up.
Sure, like you
And
can
I mean, like, full, I am literally straddling on their bodies, full pelt, slapping their faces back and forward, and bashing them off the floor.
oh my god.
Damn.
Right, like fucking like you are just,
And I mean, as in, like, they're gonna be concussed by the time they wake up.
I'm gonna have to fucking heal them.
I'm gonna shoot Senric's foot with my bow.
Again?
oh my god.
Could you not make more injuries that I'll have to fix?
I'm not even going to get you to roll for this.
Two of them just collapsed right in front of me after we seen dodgy eyes. I'm panicking. I'm freaking out.
I will say, if you're going to shoot Senric, roll to hit.
Oh, you know that's gonna hit. Come on. Come on.
Just do it anyway.
Okay.
Because you're like kind of panicking as you're doing it, like the slapping. Oh, that fucking hits.
That's hit.
The slapping and stuff.
That's a straight through and through. That is a straight through and through.
Straight through and through. I will roll damage. But obviously the slapping and knocking about, you both will take roughly about 5 points of bludgeoning damage. You also take, Senric, another 12 points of piercing damage through the foot.
So 17?
You take 17, Craven, you take 5. It's like literally, Bridget is just slapping the shit out of both of you. Fat against Frost. She pulls her bow out, not realizing that it's got a charge in it, fires it straight through your foot, cauterizing the wound.
Ricochets hits the other foot.
Ricochets go, and Bridget, when you do this, you forget, you go, oh, kind of go, oh fuck, and you just see like both of you see shooting through the vehicle, bolts of lightning, as it's bouncing around.
Can I try and catch the arrow?
Sure, give me a dexterity check to see if you can go and catch the arrow.
Technically, Kim might be able to do that because of the gloves.
She would be able to do that.
That was
You attempt to reach and grab the arrow, but as you begin to reach and grab it, like the monk would go snap it, you misjudge it, and the arrow goes straight into like the metal of your chest, and it's just sitting there with sparks going.
Oh god.
It doesn't do any damage to you because it was beginning to end, but it like pins itself in, and we like sparks of electricity are just shooting off of it, and you look down and you just see the arrow sitting there. You reach and grab it and pull it out, and you're like examining this.
I just turn to look at him and I'm like, oh fuck, sorry.
It takes 1 point of
And then
stat.
continue slapping the two of them about.
You just continue slapping them about and stuff, and trying to make them regain consciousness.
I'm screaming in their faces and everything.
I'm going to try to do her at least with casting blindness on her.
Sure. Do it.
Oh no, I don't need to do it at second level. Fuck.
Okay. Bridget, give me a Constitution saving throw.
I can add to my Constitution saving throws, by the way.
Sure, do it.
Let me find the thing.
So while this is all happening, we'll jump back to Craven and Senric. So you're in this kind of like room, you're kind of and you've now, Craven, been explained the deal that was made, that Senric was brought back to life at a cost.
Oh fuck. That was a ship. Yep, never mind.
Right.
Perfect.
Come back, I guess. You'll come back. Blindness or deafness? We'll tip. Blindness, wasn't it?
Blind.
Bridget, you've just gone blind. You cannot see. But you know when you know it's Ultep that cast this, and you could turn around and look at him. Even though you're blind, you know he's there.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and look at him and start screaming at him, and then I'm gonna get up and chase him.
Okay, I will say for all intents and purposes,
You're blind.
I will just say while this just happening, in a sense, you're just now running around, like you're like moving around, and Bridget is trying to catch you, and we'll come back to you two in a minute. So, Cedric and Craven, you have been, in a sense, been told the deal that was been made to bring him back and stuff, and the entity is still just sitting there playing the piano, and it's like, is there anything else you want to know? Anything else? And just continues to play.
So tell me, what are you getting out of this deal?
It says... It's continuing to play until it looks up at you and stuff, and like it says, and the deal is that Senric owes me a very, very large favor when it comes. It says when the time comes and I need him, it says he'll have to help and have to do what he's told, in a sense, or validate the deal.
I step forward. You haven't told me what this favor is, which leads me to believe that I'm not going to be doing it willingly.
He kind of looks at you and says, the deal will be when I seem fit that your services are required. Says,
I'm gonna try and manifest my blade.
You attempt to manifest your blade, okay.
I attempt to manifest my blade.
You attempt to manifest your blade and nothing happens. The entity looks up at you as he begins to continue to play the piano and goes and says, that won't be necessary here. It says, you're in all intents and purposes my domain. And is still playing not looking at the keys, playing this piano. Looks at you and says, this is not this. Please, take a seat. And you now feel the chair kick, you can like hit even behind, and you kind of both now fall in seats as he continues to play the piano.
I look at him and I look at him, I'm like, wouldn't it be most beneficial if we cooperate with each other when it comes time for me to help you with this favor.
And this is well, when the time comes and I require you to yourself to assist me, we will cooperate in a way that both benefits us. It says it will not be
I cast detect thoughts.
Sure. So you're casting detect thoughts on this entity?
Yeah.
Sure. Does he need to do anything or you just do it?
I believe it depends on how I use it.
Okay.
So, for the duration, you can read the thoughts. It'll pop up. Okay.
Okay,
well,
range self-detect thoughts. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw of 16. Requires concentration.
I don't think he has to immediately. For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures when you cast the spell, and as your action on each turn until the spell ends.
Mm-hmm.
You can focus your mind onto any one creature that you can see within 30 feet.
Okay.
If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower or doesn't speak any language, it's unaffected. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what's on their mind at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
As an action, I can attempt to probe deeper. That's when they have to make the wisdom saving throw.
So, surface thoughts that you're getting from this. So we'll say the surface thoughts that you're getting from this entity is that what it's kind of like playing its tune like on da 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 da, and it's trying to put on a bit of a show. But you begin to read other like surface thoughts that it's not trying to do anything right now maleficent, kind of like bad. It's just like in the back in his mind it goes, a deal was a deal. It says both part, and it's kind of like in its mind going over the deal that it made with Senric. Surface thoughts diving in like going yes, and then it begins to play the piano more, bringing into a tune, and goes and then it begins to remember something else and stuff. Are you wanting to dive deeper?
Not right away,
Okay.
however. So you can direct something's thoughts by asking it questions.
Okay.
Because obviously it has to think of the answer.
Yep.
So I'm gonna ask it again. What do you want with Senric?
Okay. Surface thoughts.
Yeah.
You hear in its surface thoughts. You kind of like to fulfill a task and a need. Begins to like go through. You kind of go through that. It says it doesn't say this and stuff. But you kind of like this. You will all hear it. It's at some point a deal, but you from the surface thoughts you're doing, he kind of like says to complete a task that I need him to do. You want to dive deeper, or are you leaving it at that?
I'm going to try and probe deeper.
Okay. Must succeed.
DC 16 wisdom.
Okay. You begin to dive deeper.
Did it succeed or fail? Because it changes what
It
happens.
failed.
Okay, so if you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom roll. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind.
Okay.
Such as something it worries over, loves, hates, whatever.
So you get to know its emotional state. Right.
Something that's playing on its mind.
Okay.
And its reasoning, if it has
So
any.
its emotional state right now is one of annoyance. Is annoyed that you're asking it these questions. What's on its mind is that, in a sense, it's trying to figure out. What's what I'm looking for? What's on its mind? It's trying. I need the word that's right. It's trying to determine if you're a friend or a foe and stuff. And the last one was what's deep in it. What's its
Something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates
Okay.
or whatever.
What largely in its mind that it's deep in its mind is the sense of you get the kind of very strong feeling that it wants to be free. It wants to not be here. It wants to get out, but it can't on its own. You're getting the sense that it's, you know, it needs Senric.
By the way, once I'm full on probing its mind like this, it will know I'm doing it. And unless I shift my attention to another creature, it can use its action to make an intelligence check contested by my intelligence check in order to end the spell.
Okay. So, are you wanting to keep it going, or are you just changing it, or are you leaving it going?
I'm going to try and keep it going.
Okay, so obviously it's going to know what you're doing and look at you.
Yeah. I'm going to do this so you can just read the wall.
I'm reading it. It's a wall of text. Okay, so contested intelligence roll to block the side of the link.
Yeah, effectively.
Yep. So both these roll.
1 second. Yes, it's an intelligence check.
13. Okay, so what happens? So if you succeed, you keep connected. If it succeeds, it disconnects.
It disconnects you. It just ends the spell.
The spell ends. It looks at you. You get a sense it turns and looks at you with some intent, and it goes, "No," it says, "that wasn't very nice," and it snaps its fingers. You're kind of like, in a sense, you're in a sense flung out of the room on this chair
Okay.
into what looks to be the void, and are kind of like flung back into your body in consciousness. Come back and you awake to see Bridget and Ultep running around the vehicle, kind of weird, and you can tell something's not right and stuff, and you feel you're sore. Your face is red. You feel like something's ran over you. You feel like you've had the shit beaten out of you.
I'm going to shake my head, understanding possibly what just happened. Look at those two running like fucking headless chickens and just enough.
Okay. You both hear Senric, Craven say that and stuff. You kind of both know and stuff. We'll jump back to you right now, Senric.
Okay.
All you see is the entity click its fingers, and Craven flung out the room. The entity looks at you and goes and
I
says,
lean in and I say, "What if I formed a second contract with you?"
"It depends on what you're willing to offer."
I
Says-
understand that you need something done, but it is of my concern that my team remains safe and not within danger from your plans.
Okay.
I'm proposing. So in our original contract, I'm doing you one favor. I offer you an eternity of favors in return that my party remains safe from your plans.
It kind of looks at you. Give me a persuasion.
Persuasion?
Okay, 16. The entity looks at you and stuff and says, "You're willing to offer an eternity of service of the sort in exchange that your fellow party members are not dragged into any of the business, that they are allowed to,
Correct.
in a sense, be free and not be dragged into this."
And on the condition that I can complete my task that I came to do.
It looks at you and he goes, And then the tune in the piano begins to play. Slightly different. Look, and now you kind of get the sense of, now when it looks at you, and you're now starting to see the eyes you have appear in it. I say we have a deal, my friend. And it kind of like raises one hand and snaps a finger. And the contract that you originally kind of like agreed with it alters. and changes to now include, in a sense, alter and change. And it goes to this, if you wouldn't mind, please. It says, I just require your signature at the bottom. And kind of like, this quill appears with no ink. It's just a blank quill with a sharp point on it. It says, please sign. And it continues to play the piano.
I go ahead and I sign it.
Okay, so in order to sign it, you have to like, in a sense, like kind of like blood. And you sign it. Okay.
So I is it sharp? Is it
It's sharpened.
in the sense that you would cut yourself, or would you pierce yourself?
You would nick yourself, and when you nick yourself, you know, like, you need to, like, in a sense, you get the quill, and you look at it, and it's kind of sharp, a dark black feather, and then you kind of look at it, you kind of notice at the point of it sharp, and you accidentally, you touch it, prick your finger, and notice a bit of blood pour out and go into the quill, like suck itself out into the quill, and you notice that the like center part of the quill goes slightly red. And you
sign the contract.
You can look at it, sign the contract. I was gonna say you look at it and it's kind of full, and then you go to sign the contract. You kind of sign the contract with your name, and upon doing so, the entity takes the quill out of your hands, signs it with, in a sense, this dark black, kind of like liquid. Like these fingers. The contract kind of rolls up, spools up, goes away, and disappears. Deal has been made. It says your friends and allies will not be dragged into her mess, and you'll be allowed to complete your tasks that you came here for. But when the time comes that you have completed your tasks and there's nothing left to do, you will be mine, and it says you will do whatever I see fit that you're required to do. Now then, I believe it's time that you return back, and maybe next time tell them what I'm here. Not have this happen again. And it kind of raises his fingers and clicks, and a door to your behind opens up, and kind of gestures used to leave as he continues to play the piano.
I say, can I ask one last question before I leave?
Kind of looks at you with the eyes, now they're kind of like the dragon eyes, and says, what is it?
What is this gift that you've given me?
It says power. It says the eyes will assist you and make you more powerful in certain ways, but do be warned. The more you use those eyes as part of your focusing for whatever you wish to do, it shall spread. It says other parts used will begin to change, so be aware that using them comes at a cost. So make sure you're ready and prepared. But other than that, I like to live at a little bit of surprise, so feel free to experiment, shall I say. And please go and kind of like continue to play the piano.
I walk on out of the place.
Walk your way out and stuff. So you kind of walk out the door, not, and begin to walk through kind of like the dark void and return to your body. And for all intents and purposes, you and Craven have woke up at the exact same time. And you are now seeing both Senric, both Bridget, and Otep running around the thing, running around the vehicle. You both know something's not right, and Bridget kind of like hearing Craven shout, turns and looks. She can't see.
Keep chasing me and I'll get the bag man to come talk to you again.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Just gonna keep chasing him.
How long does blindness last for?
It's a great question.
Is it saving throw
A
dictated?
minute.
It
So
lasts a minute.
I will say
Oh.
by the time they have regained consciousness now, blindness is gone. Bridget, you can now see.
Okay, see that those two are now alive
Yeah,
and
you
well.
can see those two are now alive and well stuff. You can see.
Okay, I run up to both of them and slap them.
Oh,
okay.
We're alive, thanks to you, maybe not well.
Yeah, you're now feeling the slap. Both of you get the sense that Bridget had beat the shit out of you when you were unconscious.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I then
my
take out my bow
foot.
again and point it at him, and I'm like, "So, are you going to tell us what's going on with these freaky ass eyes of yours before I shoot you?"
yeah. So I mentioned for everyone to sit down. I'm just like, let me explain what's going on.
Okay.
So I go on and I explain. When I was killed in that chapel, I made a contract with another being to be brought back to life in return for doing a favor for him. That's what the crystal is. I just got in contact with him again, and he explained that these eyes are simply a gift for me to gain more power. And then I do explain, or Sandra's face gets like really serious and kind of solemn. And he says, and this will be news to like Craven too. He turns to Craven. Craven, after you left, I amended that contract.
How?
I wanted to ensure that this business would not stop us from doing what we are trying to do here and not get in the way. I will not be leaving this place with you guys. I will be working for him for eternity after this. In return, the crystal will not get in the way of what we're doing. And it will not
Can I
harm
find
anyone
your
here.
body?
How did you word it?
No harm would come upon anybody here, and I would be able to complete the task at hand, which is to get El Terrell out of, out of hell.
So once you've completed your tasks,
Once I've completed those tasks, then I work for him eternally.
okay. I don't trust it.
What exactly does work for him mean? Like, what kind of work does he want you to do?
He doesn't know.
Yeah, we don't really know.
That doesn't seem very...
I forced my way into that damn thing's mind. It wasn't giving the information up. It has
You learn
something.
anything?
It has something it needs done. It also feels trapped and wants to be
Maybe it's trying to get
freed.
out.
Yeah, that may be part of it, and that's partly what concerns me. As benevolent as it acts, it still seems to serve mostly only itself.
Well, one thing he told me upon when we made the original contract was that I can't leave Avernus. Its magic does not extend beyond the realm here.
I see.
Which means if I do leave, I'll die.
Unless we take it with us.
Depending on how it's trapped.
Can we put it in the bag of holding? It'll have a friend. Wait, what if that is the friend? Oh,
What if it's just the bag man? I just, in a kind of a solemn voice, I said, "Don't worry, guys. I'm at peace with this decision. If I can't go up with you guys when you bring Elturel out of here, that's okay."
Put a pin in that for right now.
So, while you are having this conversation, Lulu regains consciousness and makes her way over to you. You kind of hear the wee signs of your footsteps approaching you. And Lulu is awake and making her way towards you.
I am like white knuckle gripping my sword, by the way.
Okay.
I didn't like not having it.
Lulu, as you are having this, Lulu, kind of in your mind, is everything okay?
Think so. Just another thing to watch.
She kind of looks at you and looks at you, Senric. And she kind of nods because I understand. And stuff. It says, kind of like, just kind of like all like sitting on the floor, like in a circle, and Lulu kind of like comes in and sits beside, kind of like sits beside you, Craven, because then you got her out here. Kind of like sits there between you, Craven, and Bridget. And it sits there and is now looking at you all and goes, what now?
Well,
I'm gonna cast first level Cure Wounds on Senric on his poor foot that
First
I
level. Hold on.
destroyed.
I need to adjust the audio for the Chrome because I can barely hear.
1 sec.
Damn right you are. Because I'm not doing it.
while that's happening, I'm just gonna be like, well, I thought you might be able to point us in the right direction.
Kind of looks at you and stuff, and it's like, you kind of like hear and stuff, like in a voice, and says, I thought the we went to before was the right place, but obviously it's not, and stuff. There's too many different locations that it could be.
Have you remembered anything recently?
Kind of looks at you and looks at everyone else. This is the Citadel. It says it could be anywhere. It says it could be, and you kind of like takes a minute to think. It says, kind of like it says it could be in a couple locations. It says it seems to be moved. Does I remember what looks to be trees of some sort? What looks to be, as I quickly just get the description. The downside of having to flick through a book to find what I need. She begins to like, it's like some like a place where trees of some sort used to be. It says it's not but black in a way and stuff, and she kind of looks and stuff, and it says, who has the map? She kind of like asks who's got the map.
I think it's moved around a couple times.
What's happened?
Who has the map of Venice or Venice?
Me.
Okay, she kind of looks at you and look in the map and stuff. And Bridget, do you pull the map out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just checking. I do have it.
Yep,
Yeah.
she's gonna pull the map out, put it on the floor, and just kind of look it down and say, Lulu, kind of looking at it, and she's like, looking at it, it's like, it says trees, and she kind of like see her looking at this map, and she like takes one of her paws and kind of like, well, whatever you would call an elephant's foot, and kind of like clicks here, and like puts her paw here, puts it here, and because it says, I remember seeing in one of my memories, it looks to be trees, like black trees of some sort here. It says it could be there, and then she's like, but it says it could also be, and she kind of like takes a minute and looks, and says, this place of, as I find the description.
Did I cast Cure Wounds for Senric?
You didn't cast it yet.
Oh.
She kind of like looks and she's like, a place of what it says, of what looks to be like a bone, like some place of like bony like place and stuff. And she kind of looks, and she's like, it says somewhere over here, and she kind of like puts her foot here. Stuff. It says it could be either the. You kind of look, she's looking around and stuff, and she's like looking at those two locations, but she can't figure out. It says it could be either the my memories are like showing images of the citadel at both locations, but it's difficult. It seems to be moving.
I can try and help make sense of some of these memories.
Juliana looks at you and goes like, how?
Same thing I just did to Cedric's demon.
Just says, she looks at you and says it's worth a try. Says we can try.
I can try and peer into your mind.
Okay.
And try to make sense of your thoughts.
Okay. You doing the detect thoughts or just telepathically?
I'm gonna cast detect thoughts.
Are you surface?
I actually have to use a spell slot this time.
Okay. Are you surface thoughts or diving in?
I'm gonna go from one to the other.
Okay. So surface thoughts as you begin to like zone out. You all now see the Stenric doing this. And not Stenric, sorry, Craven doing this. And Harem and Lulu kind of look. Surface thoughts. Lulu is trying, in a sense, to make sense of her memory. These two locations. She is seeing, in a sense, in her mind, she sees remnants of her past at both locations. She sees, and she can see what looks to be some sort of building at both places. She cannot pinpoint where it is. You want to dive deeper?
Yes.
Okay. She's not going to resist. She's going to let you in.
Yep.
As you dive into her mind deeper, the first thing you see is what looks to be a tree-like place, but the trees themselves are black. You begin to notice that what looks to be near where the trees are, some sort of dark black, kind of like pool of liquid. And you notice that near the edge of this place, what looks to be a dark black, like a citadel, floating near it. Of some sort,
Okay.
just floating near it. And you begin to see in the memory of Lulu there. Kind of like you're like Lulu's trunk looking through her eyes there. And then you're pulled back out of that memory and you're now taken to another memory. You're now taken to a memory where, again, you're looking again through Lulu's eyes. You're seeing what looks to be, as I get to the bit I need. You're beginning to look what looks to be like some more trees, but this time they're not black. They are made of what looks to be bone of some sorts. And centered in the center of what looks to be this field of bony trees is another dark citadel in the center. Again, you don't see it. From what you can see, it's above the tree line, but there's nothing that you can see looking through it as if it's floating above it. Again, trying to pinpoint where it is. Lulu is trying. It's in a state of panic. You get the sense that she's panicking. You get the sense that she's trying to remember.
Calm down. Don't force the thoughts.
You get a sense. Also, double check this. You get the sense that parts. You also get the sense now that is something that looms large on its mind, such as something that worries, loves, and is. Okay. You get the sense that it looming over its mind, is the sense of failure. She doesn't want to fail at this task. She wants to succeed, but she can't trust her memories because of what's happened, and she can't determine where this is. And during that, I would say, for all intents and purposes, the time has passed, and you're now becoming to pull your way out of their memories.
Okay.
So, Lulu kind of looks at you and looks at part and says, she doesn't, and says in your mind, says she doesn't know what path to take. She kind of looks at yous all and says, I will let yous decide. Kind of like sits down, looking at yous to pick where yous are going to go.
Let's piece this together. You have memories of the Citadel being in multiple places.
Kind of looks at you and nods.
The Citadel, in your memories, was never seen touching the ground.
Kind of looks at you, and in our memory she nods.
The Citadel has been here for the last 1,000 years or so, and has eluded everyone who searched for it.
Kind of looks and nods.
I don't think your memory's failing you. I think it moves.
Kind of looks at you. As if a point of realization and stuff, it says, looks at you as if like potentially and stuff, but she's like, but she doesn't know where to start.
The areas you're remembering are the places you have seen it, which may be places that are focal points for it. It also means any one of them could be correct or incorrect depending on the time of day.
Kind of looks and stuff. Intrigued with what you're saying. What's everybody else?
Point out the two locations it could be on the map.
Points
Once more.
to here and to here.
Which could we reasonably get to the fastest?
So you are currently, for all intents and purposes, you are about here. So it's pretty much, to give you a description, you are kind of slap bang in the middle. It will not matter what way you go. In a sense, they will both approximately take the same amount of time.
Except there is a river.
Except for one we have to cross the Great River.
One half you cross the river, one you do, one you don't. So it's up to you.
Well, Lola, which one do you feel?
Kind of takes a minute and begins to have a long thought about this. So, have a look. She kind of like, this is difficult because I need to have a look and see what each of these do. kind of takes a moment and he says in your minds, I think our best bet is to start. She kind of looks and you can see her hesitantly jumping between the two and her looking at them stuff, which is like, I think our best bet is to probably start here.
What do you guys think?
I trust in Lulu's decision.
Cedric?
I agree. I go with what Lulu wants.
I'll tip.
I have no qualms either way.
Brimrock?
Brimrock kind of like
Hit
looks,
the gas.
kind of
Hit
looks,
the gas.
he kind of looks at you and gets in the car in the vehicle, and you begin to make your way towards tree. So. Let me jump to where I need to go. You have decided to follow the path of... I won't tell you what the path's called, but you decided to follow this path. Okay. Okay. So...
I'm not gonna lie. The way you described the place we're going, I feel like I've physically seen it before.
Sorry, follow this path first. Okay. So... you begin to make your way towards this location.
I'm gonna DM you an image real quick, but and you'll understand exactly what the fuck I mean.
Yep. You begin to make your way this way and stuff. It will involve you having to recross over the bridge. And stuff. So you can easily find that stuff and stuff. So what I will say is can I get a... Can you all give me a perception check, please?
Perception.
12, 10, 2, 1, okay. Full tip.
Ooh.
That was really low for me.
17, okay. Everyone that rolled above a 10, I won't get Brimlock because he's not driving. Everyone that rolled above a 10. You're like, in a sense, travelling and stuff, and you're looking out and then looking back where you've been and looking where you should be. You get the sense that you've been driving far longer than normal. You're used to distance and how far you can travel. You're used to, in a sense, when you were driving around, that you got to certain locations quicker. Like, you got to the bridge that you crossed over before a lot quicker than it's taken you to get back. Full tip, since you rolled above a 15, you get the sense from looking around and stuff, you get the sense that reality down here and distance can be warped in some way.
Ooh.
You get the sense that 1 minute things can be close, 1 minute things can be far. And you all get the sense, except from Senric, who's too busy like flicking the crystal in his chest and getting used to his new eyes. You get the sense that this is going to be a longer journey than you thought. So, I need someone to roll me a d20, please.
Someone? Anyone?
Yes, anyone roll me a d20.
Do I curse this?
Yes.
No. Don't do it.
16, Senric. You rolled 2 d20s.
Oh, why did it roll 2? What the fuck? Here, let me roll another one.
No, we'll just use the 20. It's fine. We can just use the 16-year-old. It's fine. Oh, we'll use.
Okay.
We'll use the 14 because it's adding them together, but anyhow, we'll use the 16. So, as you begin to approach the bridge that you've crossed before, nothing's there. It is exactly the way you left and stuff, and you begin to make your way across the bridge with no problems. I need someone else, please, to roll me another d20, please.
Sure.
That isn't Senric. Needs to be someone else. 6. Okay. You're gonna travel again and stuff, and as you're traveling and stuff, you get the sense that the bit, in a sense, as you drive past what looks to this like rubble and wreckage, you get the sense that you drove past this wreckage once. You drove past it now twice. You're driving past the same bit more than once. As if you're going in a circle.
Is Brimrock asleep at the wheel?
You check Brimrock.
He actually is.
Yeah, you gonna go and check Brimrock?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go and look at Brimrock. He's awake and he's driving and he's looking at you all and says, I've been driving in a direction that we're going. Is what's going on? And you're driving, and after a few moments, again, this wreckage is there again. As you drive past, it's there again. So every few minutes, it's as if it keeps reappearing.
I'm going to go look out from the balcony.
I'm going to inquire. It's not the wreckage we created, was it?
Give me a perception check.
No.
15. Okay. You gotta both go look at the balcony and have a look. This is the wreckage that you both made. This is the wreckage of this vehicle that you flipped as you drive past it again.
Perfect.
And again.
Would it be safe to say that maybe whoever it is that's controlling this reality is wanting us to maybe look at this wreck for some reason?
Detect magic.
Detect magic, okay. You cast detect magic. What's the range of it?
I can do it. 30-foot
Okay.
radius.
You cast detect magic. 30-foot radius. Okay.
Can last up to 10 minutes.
Okay. And then as you're like driving, you get like a blip in front of the vehicle. And you drive closer and closer and closer. Do you keep going? You tell Brim up the game roll, keep going.
Keep going.
Keeps going. And the blip goes blip, 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 blip. You're now in a sense the vehicle is about touching this magical source. What are you doing?
Point my sword at it right before I'm about to hit it.
Yep.
Counterspell.
Okay.
At 4th level.
Okay. Holy shit.
Amazing.
Gone. It's gone. All of a sudden, you all see around you, in a sense, what looks to be like counterspell, this dome shatter. And in a sense, looking around, and the vehicle keeps going. And you are looking around like, what the fuck? And you now see that the wreckage, as you in a sense look around, the wreckage is about 60 foot behind you. When a minute ago it was right beside you.
Oh.
Reason? I hate you so much. Okay.
It's like I worked 2 hours on this little thing we were about to do, and you just destroyed it.
I just the second I said it and I heard the oh.
I mean, if you weren't gonna do it, I was gonna do it.
So, what are you doing?
Just continue, I guess.
Okay,
Now we've made it.
Okay. I need one more person to roll me a d20 then.
I guess it's my turn.
Nice.
18.
This Justin Tiamat
Okay.
decided to take an afternoon stroll.
So, would you just say Tiamat? Yes, as I just begin to like
like a giant
pass,
pigeon.
as you begin to pass this mountain range, you just see sitting there on this dragon, and then it looks, and these multiple heads just turn and look at you.
Oh,
No, I'm taking the best.
Oh
Um,
no.
fucking terrifying.
During your last part of the journey, nothing happens. It's calm and peaceful, and you get the sense that the amount of time that you've took to travel here, it's been a day of travel getting here. Compared to beforehand, this has been a long, long journey.
Oh,
So, are you wanting to, in a sense, park up to rest or continue going?
I mean, I'm more than happy just to take a short rest in the car as we're driving.
Okay. Cheers.
yeah.
So, take a short rest if you wish, and we shall move into the next.
So we decide how many hit dies we use, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Right, do you know how we were joking about
rest,
Tiamat?
verb. Yeah.
I shit you not, I opened up the... This is the DM being nice here. I opened up the module at a random page. You'll never guess what it fucking opened it at.
Perfect.
It opened it up at Tiamat. So, just to let you know, Tiamat is somewhere here.
Cool.
Right, 14 hit points. So,
You can just catch Tiamat on our morning commute.
so
I'm just imagining just a cup of lava brewed coffee just in their hand.
Yep.
So, as you begin, after your short rest, you begin to see in the distance what looks to be a cluster of tree-like growths cluster along what looks to be the shoreline of a bubbling black gooey lake. As you begin to approach, you begin to notice that forming around this thing what looks to be like multiple... What's the one I'm looking for? Like multiple of these trees around this lake. You begin to notice that they start to, in a sense, as you begin to get closer, you start to see every so often what looks to be like black gooey liquid drop from trees, and you begin to get closer and closer. And that's where we'll call it tonight, because I need to prepare the next bit.
Nice.
And I'll need to call it here because we're getting close to our time. So we have a call it here. The story is that I now need to prep the pathway that you have decided to pick, which is I won't tell you its name because there's an option of 2, and you've closely go down this path. So we'll see how this goes. So when we turn,
That counter spell.
I fucking hate you for that counter spell.
Just busy for ages, and I'm just like, now watch this. Bang!
You fucking bastards. So we're gonna call it here. When the party turns, they'll be able to, in our sense, arrive at the black tree-like ooey lake. They discovered it in Glint and stuff. So that'll be us. We're back in 2 weeks if the party continues and stuff, and I'll have the place constructed and stuff. So we're back then. I'll get the thing done soon and stuff. And that'll be us. So it's really warm. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.